Good morning, gentlemen. We're going to do another end of round, although it's post Germany. Round 10 unit troop total assessment from east to west, and this will include just about everything. So, as always, bring any discrepancies to my attention, but we'll get started right away. And let's see. Eastern United States, I see 3, 4, 5 men, 1 artillery piece. Out to sea in 101, there's a battleship, a destroyer, 3 transports. 91, I see 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 American transports. 1 American carrier carrying 1 British fighter, 1 American destroyer, a British cruiser, and a British transport. In Morocco, I have 2 American artillery, 4 American infantry. In Gibraltar, there are 3, 4, 5 American, 6, 7 American infantry, 1 AA piece, 2 and 2 American artillery, as well as 2 British infantry. Tunisia, 1 Frenchman. Egypt, I have 2 French, 2 British, 2 Anzac infantry, 3 British planes. 81, there is a cruiser for Britain, transport for Britain in 71, 2 infantry. The entirety of Africa is now owned by the Allies. There's a tank in French Central Africa. Moving up into Sea Zone 110, there's a British destroyer. In London, there are 3 men, 2 AA pieces, 1 American fighter, 2 artillery units. 125, there is an American transport and a British transport. 126, there are 2 American transports. In Norway, there is 1 American AA gun, 2 American fighters, 2 American infantry, 2 French infantry, 1 British infantry, 1 British AA piece. Finland, there's an American soldier. It's now occupied by America. 127, there's a German transport and a English transport. We'll get back to the landmass as we dip back down to Normandy. Normandy has Germany 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 infantry, 1 artillery, 2 AA. France has 1 infantry. Western Germany has 1, 2, 3 infantry, 1 AA piece. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 tanks, 2 fighters, 1 tactical bomber. Up in Denmark, there are 3, 4 men, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tanks. There's a Russian sub in 113. In 95, there are 4 subs for Italy, 1 destroyer, 4 transports, 1 carrier with 2 planes on it, 2 fighters. In Rome, there are 3 infantry, 2 artillery, 4 AA pieces. Malta, 1 British infantry, 1 British AA piece. Yugoslavia has 1 German tank. Bulgaria has 1 German artillery piece. Eastern Poland has 2 tanks. Ukraine has 3 infantry. Rostov has 1 infantry. Leningrad has 1 infantry. The Germans have pulled out of the Caucasus. Your numbers here are too significant for us to deal with. We are going to respond, but it'll be a while. Anyway, 4 tanks for Germany in Samara. 3 newly placed infantry in Moscow. 1 tank in the Urals. 2 British infantry and in Nestia. Leningrad has 2 AA guns. 1 artillery piece. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 infantry, 1 tank, 1 tactical bomber. And let's see, where do we go from here? Well, we might as well go to the mess. Caucasus, 1 Japanese mechanized, 1 tank, 1, 2, 3, 4 men, 1 tactical bomber. Caucasus is, by the way, owned by Japan. There was some question about that, but that's been clarified. Northwest Persia, we have too much to deal with for the Allies. There are 5, 6 infantry, 3 artillery. Just south of there in Persia proper, there is 1 strat, 1 tactical, 1 fighter for UK, 1 mechanized, 5, 6, 7, 8 tanks. East Persia, there are 2 British tanks. Turkmenistan, there's 1 British infantry. Sakang, 1 artillery. 4 Japan. Szechuan, 2 mechs, 1 tank. Kwichao, 1 infantry, 1 artillery. Yunnan, 1 infantry, 1 artillery for Britain. Siam, 1 man. French Indochina, 3 infantry for Japan. Shan State, 1 infantry, 1 artillery for Britain. In Burma, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 infantry for Britain, 3 artillery, 3 AA pieces. India has 2 tanks, 1 tactical bomber, 2 men, 1 artillery, 2 Anzac fighters, a industrial complex with 5 damage on it. Malaya, there are 3 Anzac infantry, 1 Anzac AA piece, 1 Anzac fighter, 4 British infantry, 1 British infantry in Sumatra, 1 Anzac infantry in Java, 1 American infantry, and 1 artillery piece in Borneo. Celebes has 1 British infantry. C-Zone 35, there's a sub, 1 destroyer, 1 cruiser, 3 battleships, 2 carriers with a grand total of 2 tactical bombers and a fighter on board. In Philippines proper, there's an artillery piece and 2 men. In Kwangtung, there is 2 fighters, 1 mech, 1 tank, 1 infantry. In Kwangsi, there are 2 men, 1 mech, 2 tanks, 2 tactical bombers, 2 strategic bombers. And let's see, might as well go, we'll finish up Japan. Amur, 3 infantry. Korea, 2 artillery, 2 infantry. Out to sea in C-Zone 6, there are 2, 3, 4 transports. 3 carriers, each holding a tactical bomber and a fighter. There's a cruiser and a destroyer. In Japan proper, he has 3 fighters, 3 AA pieces, 2 artillery, 5, 6, 7 infantry. Iwo 1 man, an American destroyer in 16, an American destroyer in 25. Midway has 1 infantry and 1 AA piece. Up in C-Zone 10, this may be a mistake. I believe it is. I'm going to take the liberty of doing this now. You newly placed 2 subs and a destroyer, and I believe you moved your existing destroyer and sub down to Hawaii to accompany the 2 carriers, each with a tactical bomber and a fighter. There's also a cruiser there and 2 American transports, as well as an Anzac cruiser. On the island itself, there are 1, 2 infantry, 1 AA piece, 1 artillery piece, 2 strategic bombers, 1 Anzac fighter, and I believe that's it. Moving south, C-Zone 46, 1 destroyer, 1 infantry in New Guinea. 55 has a destroyer for Anzac. Northwest Territory has 1 infantry for Anzac. Queensland has 1, 2 Anzac infantry, 2 American infantry, 1 Anzac AA, 1 tank, 1 strategic bomber. South Wales, 1 strategic bomber, 1 infantry. 62 has 2 newly placed subs. 54 has a Anzac transport, Anzac destroyer, American battleship, American cruiser, American destroyer, American subs numbering 2, and 1 transport. I believe we got to go to 35. No, we've already done that. I think that's the full assessment of the whole map. Again, please bring any discrepancies to my attention and we'll make the proper corrections. All right, that's round 10 post Germany.